This fish should be ready in a while. Smells good. That was quite a story Gregory told the last time. Yes, we remember what happened to Sebastian. And Jackson with the sea monster. But what happened after that? Yes, Sebastian, what did take place after that? Well, while we wait for the food, I'll tell you. One morning, I woke up after a fine sleep. It was a morning that came 1 year after my adventure with Jackson. It seemed like it would be like any other fine day, and I had a good night's sleep in my cave. I went to brush my teeth and then rinse. But suddenly I felt strange, and I felt myself change, and in seconds I reappeared in a strange castle. There I saw Grimelda, the sea witch, and her granddaughter, Marlena. I saw I was standing on some strange device. There was a huge hairy ogre holding a handle of a strange machine. The witch's guards pointed their spears at me.
Well, we have you at last, Sebastian. This magic transporter is our latest invention. With it, I can capture anyone. I just set the controls to the location of the one I want to kidnap.
And I tell the ogre to crank up the power now. Yes, Marlena. The ogre turned the crank around and around. This moved pulleys and gears, which spun a platform and generated electricity. Magic sparkles and sparks of electricity soon combined and two figures materialized. It was Jackson and Helen. You see, with this device, we can magically transport anything from one place to another. Come on, this way. Keep moving there. Go on, keep moving, prisoners.
You foiled my plans the last time, but not again.
I was impressed by you and your friends' bravery. Now I will see what you can do in my Colosseum. Go on, get in there. Jackson, Gerald, we were captured by the witches. So were we. They used that strange device to get us. They want us to be warriors in some big show. Hey, quiet in there. Yeah. Soon the contest will begin. Watch the prisoners. What do you want me to do? Just take part in my little show of strength. If you win, you can go free. If not, you and your friends will stay here and serve me. Later that day, the witches' guards took us to their Colosseum through a glass tunnel. Our weapons were taken away from us when we were captured, so we were helpless. When the gate was raised, we saw the inside of the Colosseum. It was huge and filled with rows of spectators, all of them looking grotesque and cruel. In front and above us sat the witches Grimelda and Marlena. Grimelda pointed at Peter and Helen, who were kept prisoners, and kept at knife point to make sure we did as we were told. Marlena had also captured Bobby the elf and had him sit near her, tied up. Why are you doing this? I thought we became friends when I saved your life. Of course we're friends. That is why you are here, to see my entertainment. With friends like you, who needs enemies? All of us were then given weapons, and we got ready to face the witches' soldiers. It sounds like you were in a tight spot, Sebastian. It certainly sounds like you were in great danger. Well, I was worried that we would not get out alive. Armed with weapons, Jackson, the centaurs, and I were ready to do battle. Then Marlena walked up to the top of a high platform. Then Grimelda said, "When Marlena finishes her firework display, the battle will begin. May the strongest win." Then sparks of color leapt upward from Marlena's body in a spectacular display. The spectators looked up in awe at the fiery spectacle, while the flashes of light reflected off of their faces.
Show off.
At that moment, the guards charged at us. Then we rushed forward fiercely into battle. Centaurs and monsters fought violently. Jackson and I flew upwards to battle the harpies. The harpies flew at us in a fury. Get them, my darlings. Jackson slashed and kicked at the harpies. The harpies flew at us from all directions. Quickly, Jackson and I came together and held his weapon. Then we started to spin in mid-air in a fighting maneuver that knocked the harpies away with centrifugal force. Next, I socked the harpies left and right. And with one punch, I knocked 3 of the harpies against the wall, where they fell unconscious. That Jackson is so agile and brave. I wonder if he and I would make a good couple. But that Gerald Centaur is such a hunk. Maybe he would make a better mate.
Are you crazy? He is not even a member of your species.
Jackson and Sebastian are real friends who work as a team. They are not selfish like you. Just as Jackson and I defeated the harpies, I accidentally flew into a hairy wall. Ugh! When I fell on the ground, I looked up and saw a frightening sight. I stared into the face of the mighty ogre. This is your last battle. He raised his club and tried to crush me with a powerful blow. But I was too fast for him. Started to do battle with the blighter. I hit the bloke again and again. Pow, wham, bam. Pow, bam. He slapped me away, and I landed smack into the Colosseum wall. I got an idea, so I climbed up the Colosseum wall with my claws. I pulled the chain in front of the spectators. Then I lifted it up into the air and headed towards the ogre with it. Jackson, grab the other end and follow me. I got it, Sebastian. Both of us flew around the ogre and began to tie him up. The crowd then showed their disapproval with a chorus of boos. Hey, stop flying around. I'm getting dizzy. He dropped his club, and I grabbed it. And with one mighty blow, knocked him out. The spectators stared in horror. The crowd ran away in fear as the ogre fell on the Colosseum seats. Rocks, knocked away by the ogre's fall, hit the pedestal Bobby the Elf was on and broke it. Bobby was free, and he flew to free Helen and Peter. With his magic powers, Bobby lifted rocks into the air and threw them at the gods, knocking them unconscious. Then Bobby took the keys off the guard's belt, and he freed Helen and Peter's centaur. I do not believe Marlena will let us go if our side wins. We've got to get out of here. But first we should destroy the magic transporter. I saw a room full of explosives nearby. Helen, Peter, and Bobby ran and flew through the glass tunnel to the transporter area. There they saw a door marked explosives. Helen and Peter carried explosives into the transporter room. Bobby levitated the remaining TNT near the machine. After the room was filled with dynamite, Helen left a trail of gunpowder along the floor and into the hallway. Then she lit the gunpowder with a wall torch. As the fuse crackled, Helen, Peter, and Bobby escaped from the castle. The transporter was destroyed, and the explosion blew through the roof. The explosion created an elaborate spectacle above the castle. The centaurs Jackson and I escaped through a hole in the Colosseum wall created by the ogre's fall. Then Grimelda screamed in rage when she saw her destroyed machine. My machine! They destroyed my machine! But they did put on a grand show. This fiasco is the worst I've seen in 500 years. Well, I'm 200, and I've seen worse damage. Ugh! How can you be so calm when they destroyed our machine? Jackson and Helen got back together outside the castle, and the centaurs, Bobby the Elf, and I were all safe and sound. Thank you, and now let's eat. We're here, Sebastian. Thank you, Sebastian, for the wing slippers. Well, that is your reward for destroying the transporter, Helen. Now, will someone please pass the potato salad? Here you go, Sebastian. Thank you, Jackson. Delicious. No centaurs or monsters were harmed in the making of this motion picture, but the magic transporter was completely destroyed. Oh yes, kids, don't hit any person with a spiky club because you could inflict serious head injury, but it is okay to hit hard-headed ogres with it.